Healing the sick wasn't part of Allah's repertoire.
Ishaq. Allah increases their sickness. A torment of doom awaits the Jews.
The terrorist spirit known as
Allah said, "They are mischief makers, they are fools. The Jews deny the truth and contradict what the apostle has brought." Allah said, "I will mock them and let them continue to wander blindly."
Muhammad was personally guilty of everything he falsely attributed to the Jews. As a terrorist raider, he was a
mischief maker.
He was a
fool denying truth.
And it was Muhammad who
contradicted
the Torah, twisting Hebrew scripture to serve his interests. Arabs and Jews alike were openly doubting the prophet's preposterous claims.
Ishaq. The apostle calls to you the truth about which there is no doubt. And if you are in doubt about what we have sent down to him, or in doubt about what he says, then produce a surah like it and summon witnesses other than Allah. But you won't, because you can't, for the truth is beyond doubt. Fear hell, whose fuel is men and stones prepared for the infidels.
Posturing, propaganda, and threats are standard rhetoric for despots everywhere. Most are more credible, however, than was Muhammad. Inviting Jews to Islam, the prophet preached,
Ishaq. Stand in awe of me, lest I bring down on you what I brought down on your fathers, the vengeance that you know of, the bestial transformation, and the like.
Turning Jews into apes and swine was Allah's perverse rendition of bestiality.
Believe in what I have sent down, confirming what you already have. Be not the first to disbelieve it.
This became Koran 2:41. The Jews weren't in a race. They were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's ironic in a way. Had the Jews not been in Yathrib, Islam would never have survived. Without the money Muhammad confiscated by stealing Jewish homes, property, and businesses, and selling Jewish women and children into slavery, he wouldn't have been able to bribe enough militants to conquer the merchants of Mecca, much less the whole Middle East. Without the scripture he bought from the Yathrib Jews, Muhammad wouldn't have had enough religious material to make the Koran appear believable. Void of bastardized Bible stories, Islam's holy book is little more than hellish threats, lewd enticements, racist rants, and a call to war.
Ishaq. Fear me, and do not mingle truth with falsehood, or hide the truth which you know. Do not conceal the knowledge which you have about my messenger. You recognize what he has brought to you, because you will find it in the books that are in your hands. You are readers of Scripture. Why do you forbid men to believe in the prophecy you have, and in the covenant of the Torah? You must pronounce my apostle to be true.
This lie became Koran 2:40. Give a dishonest man enough rope, and he will eventually hang himself. Desperately trying to establish his own credibility, Muhammad destroyed the last bastion of Allah's. The line,
"You will find it with you in the books that are in your hands,"
says that the Torah of the 7th century A.D. confirmed Muhammad's Islam. It contained prophecy pointing to him. Its covenant was what he brought. According to Allah, the Torah proclaimed that the
apostle was true.
But nothing could be further from true. The Hebrew text of Muhammad's day matches today's Torah verbatim. Read it and weep. Sorry, pal, you're dead. To demonstrate just how feeble Muhammad's mental prowess really was, I present the surah's next paragraph.
Ishaq. Allah said to them, "Enter the gate with prostrations, and say, Hitta, say what I command you." But they changed that word, making mockery of his command. With regard to their changing that word, the apostle said, according to someone above suspicion, they entered the gate they were ordered to enter with prostrations in a crowd saying, "Wheat is in the barley."
Yep, the Torah that just anointed messiahship upon the Arab prophet was now corrupt. The Jews had edited the Arabic word hitta from their scriptures, making a mockery of Allah's commands. Unfortunately, the Arabic word wouldn't come to have been written for 2,000 years. yet we're told it was edited out of written scripture. If you're curious, Hittah means unloading. It's nonsensical. And barley and wheat were associated with the Meccans and their idol Manat. Ishaq, page 39, not Yahweh and the Jews. Mohammed was as dumb as the rock he called God. You can fix a lot of things, but you can't fix stupid. The paragraph goes on to report,
Ishaq, Allah raised the mountains above the Jews so that they might receive what was brought to them, and the bestial transformation occurred when Allah turned Jews into apes.
This became Koran 2:65. A billion souls believe this beast of a man was a prophet. Sadly, they don't know his spirit was satanic. I'm certain the Yathrib Jews told him that his 5 pillars conflicted with Yahweh's 10 commandments. So the prophet, who insisted his brand new Islam confirmed 2,000-year-old Judaism, said,
Ishaq, Moses commanded them to prostrate themselves, and his Lord spoke to him, and they heard his voice, giving them commands and prohibitions, so that they understood what they heard. But when Moses went back to the Jews, a party of them changed the commandments they had been given.
This became Koran 2:75. As you might expect, Mohammed didn't bother explaining what the commands originally proclaimed, which of the 10 the party changed, how they corrupted them, why they bothered, or how they could have gotten away with the most monumental edit of all time. Mohammed was certain his name and description were plastered throughout the Torah. He actually believed, if we can trust him, the covenant between the Jews and Yahweh pertained to him. His arguments were equal parts delusional and egotistical. The following conversation allegedly occurred between Mohammed's God and the Yathrib Jews.
Ishaq, have you no understanding? Why do you maintain that he is not a prophet, since you know that Allah has made a covenant with you that you should follow him? While he tells you that he is the prophet whom you are expecting, and that you will find him in our book, you oppose him and do not recognize him. You reject his prophethood on mere opinion.
Yep, and that became Koran 2:77. But if this is true, if Allah spoke to the Yathrib Jews, why didn't he speak to the Muslims? And since Allah alleges that he wrote the Torah, why didn't he tell the Jews where to look for the descriptions of his Arab prophet? All this verse actually proves is that Mohammed claimed to be the Messiah. The next hadith explains how Mohammed came to speak about Yahweh's 7,000-year plan.
Ishaq, the apostle came to Medina when the Jews were saying the world would last 7,000 years, and that God would only punish men in hell 1 day for every 1,000. Allah sent down, and they say the fire will not touch us except for a few days. So they became the people of hell, where they will live forever.
And that became Koran 2:80. Like everything Mohammed stole from the Bible, he was right up to the point of departure. By putting Yahweh's prophetic calendar together, one discovers that 7 distinct 1,000-year periods follow the fall of Adam. There is no reference to hellish days, however, and Mohammed misstated himself in the mix, wrongly predicting that the world would end in the year 1110 A.D. Sadly, our calendar is as pagan as Islam's, but I can pinpoint where we are in this chronology. There is considerable reason to believe that the 6th 1,000-year period will end during the Feast of Tabernacles in 2033, following 7 years of extreme tribulation at the hands of Satan and Islam.